What's going on, YouTube? This is the road to scratch. This is the journey that I'm documenting of me becoming a scratch golfer. I'm not even no longer saying my attempt to. I'm going to do it. But this video is going to be dedicated to the biggest swing change I have ever made in my career of playing golf. This video is dedicated to the swing change that I'm making now, which is implementing all the other things that I've been working on. Most of it has been getting to the point in my swing where what I'm actually doing is trying to keep these two elbows closer together at the top of the swing. For me, what that does is it actually gets this wrist in a flat, if not bowed position. That keeps me on plane, because if you've seen some of the other videos, what I really struggle with, and what I've struggled with most of my playing time in golf, in the world of golf, has been a very steep downswing. So I'll get about right here in the downswing, and the shaft of my club is pointed almost in this direction. I'm sure if you've watched other videos, you've heard all the talk about getting shallow and all that. I don't think that's as important as whatever your swing plane is. It needs to be consistent on that same sort of arc that we all have to swing on in order to have consistent ball striking and to play more consistent golf. So what I've struggled with is getting from the steep part is I actually tend to cup my wrist on the downswing, which gets it nice and steep. I'm trying to get away from that angle of attack, because all that really is creating for me over the years has been a very flippy, a lot of rotation with the hands coming through the ball. And that's a very inconsistent way to play golf. There are, of course, great golfers over the years that have done that professionally. For them, it tends to work most of the time. I don't have the greatest of hands for that type of swing. I've been very inconsistent over the years. I miss a right-to-right shot with my driver with that swing, and I tend to hit a pretty big draw with my irons. So we're going to get away from that, get the hands quieter. That's what this has done here, is keeping the elbows closer together, so I now have this much more, as I think, more stable left wrist at the top of the backswing, which is allowing me to do the next step, which is the rotation that I need through the ball. And again, as I got flippy through impact, a lot of my body, but really my upper body, starts about right here slowing down as my hands then tend to rotate through the ball, and I have what's almost like a delayed follow through. Meaning, the rotation of my body from here to here doesn't continue down through the ball and then up into my follow through. What's I'm struggling with, and I've struggled for a long time, is getting a lot of that arm rotation where the body, upper body especially, is not as open and through the ball as I want it. My key swing thought here is, from the top of the swing, is to really open, and I've struggled with my lower body being too quiet, is to go ahead and really open my hips, turn everything to the target. I want to be in a position here, ideally, this is a little exaggerated, at impact, not here. And I tend to have a little, that's where the flip comes from, is a quieter lower body. And even in some cases, my body wants to work into the ball like this as I rotate through. Hopefully, that'll help with more consistency. I'm seeing a lot more ball speed as well. So we'll see what happens. But this is a big, big, big swing change, and there's a lot of work here to do. I'll show you the videos. We'll kind of talk through some of the swings as I do them, and then I'll kind of explain what's going on here and there, what's good, what's bad. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video.
All right, so here we are with some face-on 8 irons. I already done my warm-up with my wedges, so got some face-on views of what I'm trying to accomplish with this rotation. First few swings, like always, is going to be a struggle. What I'm looking for here is that rotation I was explaining, with the upper and lower body together moving through the ball without that hesitation and that late or delayed follow-through. Also really working on getting those two elbows together still, so I can have a flat, if not bowed, left wrist. All right, so here is a behind view of my downswing position. You can see where that club path is traveling still. It's still really, really steep. And this is why I've got to continue that rotation. My lower body, upper body too, my lower body, my left hip should be starting to really open up here, and it's not yet. So what we need to work on is rotating on the first move down. And when I say down, I mean through the ball. As soon as the downswing initiates, I need to start rotating towards the target. Hips open up towards the target, upper body rotates and continues to rotate without hesitation through the target. So we're going to get some behind the view swings here in a second.
There it is.
All right, so here is the rear view, as we say. I'm looking for two things here. I'm looking for the angle of that left wrist and the elbows, and I'm also looking for that rotation initiated at the start of the downswing.
Okay, those are flying the green now.
Okay, what I was referring to there is I'm noticing an increase in club head speed and ball speed. My 8-iron at altitude, keep in mind, is about 180 yards, 178 to 180 yards. The pin that I'm hitting to at the target was measured at 175. These were all flying the green the pin was on, knowing or meaning that the ball speed has increased.
All right, so I'm getting better here through impact. It's not there yet, but I feel the difference just from here to here, club head speed. Trusting the top of the swing with the elbows is going to still be tricky. Somewhere in between. Pulled that a smidge. A little toey.
Okay, so I worked into 3-wood here. I wanted to get a real feel and really emphasize this rotation, initiating the downswing with hips opening, shoulders rotating through the ball, and really trying to keep that connectivity between the arms and the body. Again, feel versus reality in a golf swing can be a really big difference.
Get in there.
Not anywhere near where I want to be.
There.
But this swing has improved during this session, and I could definitely feel the rotation happening. And again, club head speed and ball speed increasing.
That was better. All right, time for the driver.
All right, as I mentioned there, I moved up to driver. Work on the same thing. These swings are not always going to be good. That one was a nice pull hook. Again, trying to work through that rotation with different arm position. You know, I got two different major things going on here. Working through swing changes can be frustrating. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's going to be a 2-step back, 1-step forward type of change for me at this point. And the biggest key for any swing change for any of you guys listening is going to be staying patient. It already is a game that draws all of your patience to zero, but you got to stay patient, especially when you're working on a major swing change.
That one was hit. Okay, into the range. Here we go. That's like 315 or 320 carry. Getting closer. Heely, little Heely.
All right, let's take a look at a few stills. This first one is my takeaway position. And getting away from the ball, I'm actually in a pretty good position. In theory, the club face and the angle of your back should be pretty much parallel to each other, which you can see here with those two lines. Club head is just outside the hands here going back. That's why I want to see. That gets me in a good angle to get to the top of the backswing. And from here, what I really want to see, and we'll take a look at this next photo, is I want to start seeing that trail elbow start to kind of pinch in and rotate, almost like my right hand would be holding a tray or a platter. Okay, almost at the top of the backswing here, and you can see my left wrist is actually in a pretty good position. It's fairly flat, which is what I want to see. That trail elbow is actually working in, like it's going to be holding that platter. It's working in towards the left elbow. That's what I want to see. The problem is when I get to the top of the backswing is when it starts to still break down a smidge and I start to cup it a little bit. I don't mind the turn. I like the positions with my right leg. It's not fully loaded. I want to see just about a shared stability in both the right and left leg. More than anything, what I focus on is making sure that my sternum turns in position with the golf ball. It doesn't lose its position in going behind the golf ball, if that makes sense. All right, the moment of truth impact. So this is what I've been talking about. This is where my lower body can tend to work towards the golf ball, meaning moving in a direction not just from rotation, but also moving in towards the golf ball, creating less room for my hands, and more importantly, my body, upper and lower, to rotate and work through the golf ball. This is where I tend to get flippy. This is the biggest position I need to work on, and it all starts with the first move in the downswing being that of rotation and less of sliding towards the target with my lower body. This is where I'm working to get better. This is going to be the biggest swing change I need to make, and it's going to take some time, but we are getting a little bit closer. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you did like the video, slap that thumb on the way out for me. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'm going to keep cruising down the road to scratch.